I would like to warmly welcome each and every one of you for this lecture. Now, this lecture is going to take you through the whole topic of computer ethics. I created a full document for the whole thing, and I hope this document can work for you, and I hope you easily understand it because I made it more reader-friendly than any other document for you online or anywhere else. So, the first thing is uh, yes, I'll send it to you, don't worry. The first thing is there's meaning. What is a computer ethics? This is the study of ways in which one should provide a proper moral and ethical behavior during the work with computer devices and computer users. So basically it deals with how do you conduct yourself in front of a computer and how do you conduct yourself around people who are using computers. Um, so Basically, that's it. There's no magic formula for that one. So, what are the different forms of ICT ethics? There's what they call the rule ethics, then the consequence ethics, um, then the virtue ethics. We are going to look at them in the next page. So, rule ethics. This is a type of ethical principle based on whether an individual did an action for a right reason or and the individual is not judged uh, for the crime. So basically, what happens is for the rule ethics, a person um, is not judged for the consequences of the crime, but the person is judged on whether he did the crime for the right reasons or for the wrong reason. I hope you have understood me there. To put it into perspective is, let's say a thief comes and you kill the thief when he is trying to attack you. There, you employ this type of rule ethics because you did it for the right reasons, but you ended up killing someone. So, this is how you apply this. So, some of them is types of rules is the religious commands, the laws, public regulations, like in aircrafts, they don't allow you to do some stuff on the aircraft. Religious commandments, the Bible, all those laws which are there. Uh, Inter-organization rules. If you enter an organization, each and every organization have rules. I'm sure in Aptech they also give you a bunch of rules to follow. Um, Standards. There's a company called ISO which I've also looked at in networking, which is Internet Standardization Organization, which is supposed to deal with standardizing each and every product which exists on planet Earth, starting from the mere small things which you think do not deserve and to be uh, standardized. You may find toothpicks, from things like toothpicks to actual big cars and all that. All those things are always standardized. Um, ad- Advantage. A person is not persecuted for doing the right thing. So here they don't persecute for doing the right thing for the right reasons. So coordination is easier. So they can easily coordinate with you. Um, Normally easy to understand. So it's very easy to understand the reason why someone did something. So predictability, it's very easy for you to predict the situation and how it is going to occur. Um, Avoid unwanted incidences. So it's very easy for you to also avoid the unwanted incidences in a way that if you know like the commandments that if you steal this and this will happen to you, by knowing that you are able to say okay, I won't do it. I hope you get my point. So then the next one, disadvantages, universal difficult to follow. uh, as you have noticed, some people have a hard time following rules. You tell them not to do something, but for some reason they have to end up doing that same thing over and over and over again. The information is usually large in size, so yeah. Uh, Now, like some rules, like government rules, I'm very sure very few people are able to read that, all those rules and get them in their head. So it's very hard. It's like the terms and conditions which are always in every app. I'm very sure everyone just goes and says, "Okay, accept all the terms and conditions, even if you're going to sell my heart." Uh, anyway, then there's can ignore some issues. So sometimes they might end up ignoring some issues which are very key. Like you might uh, sometimes you might when a crime is occurring, sometimes you might be the one in the wrong, but just because the person is like maybe in your home, uh, the friction between both of you sometimes uh, they ignore some issues there. Then the loophole there's loophole management which is difficult, as in there are some loopholes in the laws which people can use to penetrate the system and come out on top. Meaning, sometimes you find that some people can overlook the laws and get away with it. Next thing, interpretation. Very few people know how to interpret some of these laws. Uh, you find that someone cannot easily understand what some of these laws mean, and especially now if they're written in books or something like that, you find that some people don't know how to read, and not only reading but also interpretation. In reading is sometimes easy for some people, but interpreting is different. This is another thing. Many target minimums. Basically, this deals with the many target minimum. I think it deals with the minimum requirements are the ones which are targeted sometimes. Now, now, like for such a case where you have killed someone, there are minimum requirements required for you to do. So, consequence ethics. So, this is what they call the greater good. It deals with what is good for the whole world. Like some people think that wiping out the whole world is a good thing. It's not a good thing. Uh, so, consequence ethics. This is based on law which are set up for each and everyone to abide by, and when an individual does not abide by the rules set up, he or she is bound to face law due to crime committed. So, uh, now this is based on greater good, meaning uh, so this just basing on the definition is based on a law which are set up for each and everyone to abide by, and when an individual does not abide by the rules, he or she is bound to face the law due to the crime committed. So, if someone commits a crime there, a person is liable to face the wrath of the law. There is no such thing as, okay, we understand that you are in a bad position at that time and someone came and attacked you and you killed the person. Them, they don't want to listen to such stories. Them, they just want to get, okay, have you killed the person? Yes. Okay, you're going to be arrested. That is all they care about. They aren't going to deep scrutiny in this consequence ethics. They don't go into deep saying, telling you, okay, this and this is what's supposed to be done. This is here, they don't do that. Now, advantages of consequence ethics. Decisions are made diplomatically. So here it's based on how many people say, okay, this is supposed to be right, this is supposed to be wrong. It works for all industries. So there are many industries use this type of method. Everyone works for a greater good. So each and everyone is working for a particular decision to be to come through. So next thing is uh, it promotes equality among people. So each and everyone is equally punished according to the law. So maximizing services or minimizing negative services. So here they maximize the services based on people's likes. It's like most channels like most TV channels or any other channel. Basing on how many people view your channel, that's how much you end up getting. So that's one way of minimizing services and maximizing services. The more people watch your service, that's a sign that it is marketable. Disadvantages of consequence ethics. Uh, Little consideration of them means. So they don't consider how the person got to that situation. So then the next one, poor consideration of the minority's views. So here they don't listen to the minority people. It's always the big people who they hear as the people with the bigger voice here. Nature included some versions, exclude from others. So they start excluding people from different things here and there. Now you might find that someone in the village doesn't have the proper services like you guys here. Just viewing the videos here and there. So some utilities are difficult to forecast and measure. So that one is self-explanatory. Money excluded in some cases. So sometimes the money is excluded in some of these other cases. So few may be right. So sometimes you will find that there are very few people, but they have a valid point. People are sometimes treated as a group, yet they are individuals. So sometimes you treat people as a group, as in you start considering their views as a group, yet they are particular individuals having their own particular thoughts and preferences. So uh, I think that is it. We shall stop here. We shall start in the next video talking about something else. All the best.